social media platforms on YouTube, on Facebook, and amen. Yabona le nto ngithi angiyithandi le nto ungathi uyofaka angiyikuzwa nje kahle, but it's okay, sizoyilungisa. Thank you so much. You know, one of the last, excuse me, let me ngigadange la kancane bese ngilungisa certain things just for a second. Nangicela ukugadanga la ngicabanga ukuthi kuzabe kulungile.
Your face all over the place. Warrior Online, 24/7, 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet.
Yeah, we are here. This is Sauma 80 Radio. I am Ghana. I am Ghana. We said when we were wrapping up, which is something that I want to start with. You must cultivate an emotional control. So we've given many points, and one of the points that we want to continue with is that you must cultivate emotional control. So let me catch up with you. First point is that don't be reactive, be responsive. So in life, don't be reactive, but be one step ahead and be responsive. So therefore, when you are reactive, you are choosing situation that comes to you, and then basically after choosing that situation, you respond to that situation that comes to you. But if you are effective, you are thoughtful, you are constructive, if you are responsive, you are respectful, and you are constructive, and you respond very smart. But when you react based on whoever who's putting whatever that you are reacting. Think about it. Somebody comes in and they just say something or do something that rubs you the wrong way around. They are powerful. They're the ones that control emotions. And he said, train your mind to see challenges and opportunities. That's what he said. But the podcast is there, so you can catch up. And he said, the third point is cultivate unshakable belief in yourself. Self doubt and insecurity stems from a lack of understanding of your true nature and potential. So for you to be able to trust in yourself and for you to understand what you can do, you have to have an unshakable belief in yourself. You must tell yourself that you are the right person for the job. You must tell yourself that you are not a fluke. You must tell yourself that indeed you are where you are supposed to be. Some of the things don't look as complete, but you think you are at the right place to set that. And then the fourth one is learn to embrace discomfort in life because discomfort is inevitable. Whatever discomfort it is, physical, emotional, mental discomfort, if you change it around, it will make you not to be comfortable in whatever life that is going on. And discomfort is best in new areas where you will find a better comfort and that new areas grow. And you must develop a relentless routine of discipline. So let me tell you, if you want to do something, you must have this routine. And routine will set up into a second nature. And then once the routine is your second nature, you actually operate much more better. So when you start to, it might look like you're not winning, you might look like you're not making a difference. But by you repeatedly doing the very same thing that and give yourself grace if you're not able, to come forth and be where you're supposed to. But remember, even though you don't see the result, your body is set in a way that if you repeat something, it becomes second. Think about it. You set up an alarm where it wakes up a little bit. But even if you don't set an alarm, when it's past the time you're supposed to wake up, actually the body wakes up. Then that's when you realize that you missed the alarm because your body woke you up. Within the constraints of the time that's supposed to wake up, because your body is used to it. And then the more you do it, the more it doesn't stop. So you must cultivate that the relentless routine. So let's start with this one. Cultivate emotional control. So emotional control doesn't mean suppress your feelings, doesn't mean pretend that they don't exist. But you learn to observe and manage your emotion in a way that it doesn't allow them to control your actions or to control or hinder your progress. So what does that mean? It means that when something happens in your life, you don't allow your emotions to dictate your response, but your response it should be your control. You must control your emotions. There must be time. Those people that usually when they say this, they laugh at them, that they say, "I'm going through a lot," and when I get to a funeral, and people are crying, I just cry for all those things that I'm going to cry for, and we think that that is somehow something fun, but the method might not be what you like, but the outcome becomes power because you get to control where you're going to have your outburst without suppressing it. Remember, we said control doesn't mean suppress, but it means that you dictate and you teach your emotions to say, I am not going to let, let's say, for example, you're trying to connect to now broadcasting the radio and the network does the thing. If you become emotional because the network is not allowing you to become like it is now, if you don't control emotions, it will lose whatever that you're going to deliver in a calm state. Now, you understand that emotions can hinder your progress. You can respond in a way that it hinders your progress. So you must cultivate that to have emotional intelligence. Emotion makes you human. It's natural. The feelings of frustration, anger, sadness, fear, and anxiety, those are normal. But rather, learn to respond to this emotion rather than reacting impulsively to them is what is very important. We said that you will be able to then become a better person when somebody, for example, tries to frustrate you and they realize that they're not doing it, they end up doing it because people thrive with progress. So the same way, people who try to hinder your progress, they strive with progress. But if you don't respond the way they would have liked you to respond, they sort of also give up in whatever that they're trying to do. It might be a situation. You will realize that any situation, you could have thought of them better if you put emotions aside. You could have actually understood the implications of your mind. So moving into that, I want to bring this point as the point of be thoughtful to what your brain says. So pay attention to your thoughts. Now that you said that, pay attention very much to your thoughts because your thoughts shape who you are. Your thoughts shape what you're going to become. So that means when a thought pops into your head, you have to challenge your own thoughts. If your thoughts are saying you are not good enough, you rather challenge that thought by saying, I am all that I need to conquer whatever in front of me. Because thoughts, negative thoughts, are like a weed. If you leave it, it takes over your mind. If you leave it to grow, your mind will be this mind that is full of weed. And then in a short space of time, you will be thinking negative of yourself. And how are we going to tell that you're actually thinking negative of yourself? When people are thinking constructive things, you will be projecting yourself onto them. For example, somebody said, I want to attain this or this. You think you can do it. I tried and I failed. You see that it is not that the person is going to fail. It's that you failed and now you're projecting your thoughts to the next person. So you must change your thoughts. You must challenge your thoughts because your thoughts shape where you are going. If you do not take care of thoughts, you will end up in a situation where you are now the product of nothingness, if I could say that, because your thought will be telling you you can't do it. So your thought will actually paralyze you. Your thought will be saying that who do you think you are? Your thoughts are very much important. So pay attention to your thoughts every day. How you think, you need to be able to pay attention to your thoughts because your thoughts will influence the way you feel. If your thoughts influence the way you feel, they will then influence the way you react to people, and then eventually your thoughts will reflect how you treat yourself. So let's say you end up, you leave in the morning, say I'm good enough, or whatever that is. Even when you get there, you see that the situation is not the way you want. You know that you are the very tool that will make a difference. So be careful of your success. If you want to add, so moving to it's okay. Jaguars. Thank you. You see, it's very important to check your mind. Indeed, it's very very important to check your mind. So let's go to another point. Um, we I don't cannot say. So point number two. Let me say to you, it is okay not to be. It is okay not to be okay. Life is not always perfect, and that's okay. There's a power in acknowledging that you are struggling and give yourself permission to heal or give yourself permission to conquer. It is also okay to ask for help if you need help. So there is power in vulnerability. When you see that you're vulnerable, there's actually power. When you see that you're not okay, there's actually power. I'm not saying sit there and lick your wound. That is okay to acknowledge that I will not be able to do it here without help. And ask for help. Because if you don't realize, if you want to say you're okay while you're not okay, you are sort of, inhibiting yourself or depriving yourself the opportunity to ask for help. And you're also depriving yourself the opportunity to learn from whatever that does not make you to be okay. So it's okay not to be okay. So it means that when you're okay, when you're not okay, you can still get up and face the day even though you're not okay. Because being okay can be tied together with the perfect timing. Because people will say, no, I'll do it in the perfect time. Let me tell you, you will do it in a perfect time. There is never the perfect time. The perfect time is right now. Because have you ever seen the time that is perfect? If you waited for the perfect moment, to do something, there's never really a perfect moment. But when you get up and you create that moment, it's the same way that when you are not okay, you acknowledge that you are not okay because you can never wait for yourself to say, no, I'll wait until I'm okay to do something. There's always something to, so you must acknowledge it's okay not to be okay. But the difference between the winners and the losers is that people are still able to accept the challenge even though they're not okay. They're still able to say it's not always perfect, but it's okay. I don't have to have it all together, but giving up it's not the solution. I'm going to struggle or feel overwhelmed, but it doesn't mean that you are weak. So it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't mean that when you are weak or you are less of a person. So it's okay not to be okay. You can add. Yeah. No. Thank you so much. I want us to go to another point. Another point that I want you to look at is that when you want to cultivate culture mindset, one of the key things is be patient. Be patient with yourself. It also goes along with having grace. The same way that God has grace, parents, friends, family. You must also give yourself grace. Be patient with yourself. We are in a world where people are inclined to instant gratification. If you want to not pick up, you can go and buy it, and it is ready, or order it ready. If you want to search something, you can easily see your phone and then check that and then have the information right at your fingertips. But now, the things that are life changing need you to be patient. They're not as instant as possible. And I usually say this even on Sundays that there's a time you have a seed in your hand, and there will be a time where there will not be a seed in your hand, and there will also not be a tree or a plant you want. You will nurture it and water it, and it will look like nothing is happening. So when you are patient, you know that the roots are entering deep into the earth, so that by the time it's really anchored deep into the world. So be patient with yourself. You must also remember that be patient and you must walk away from this instant gratification. You must have no short because we know that life, there's many things that in life allows you to take a shortcut. There's many things that in life allows you to look at the situation and then take a shortcut. But there's many things in life. But when you want things that are progressive, when you want things that are of the goals, you need to understand that success, happiness, fulfillment are not a quick or fast food. Is what Denzel Washington said. It's a slow cooked. So you must understand that happiness, you must understand that fulfillment, you must understand that success is something that you are not going to get. You can easily go and swipe it, but sleeping peacefully is something that you need to get on. You can easily purchase a big house, and then but having a home is something that you have to get on. You can easily go buy groceries, but having a meal is something that will take dedication of cooking better. I wanted to tell you that patience is something that you learn. When you measure yourself according to the community, you might end up wanting to flow like that. But patience comes with a deep understanding of yourself. To know that even though people don't see, you can be, for example, you can be on a healthy diet for 5 months. No one comments about the results. As you can see the results, or you can see the results that are not physical. You can see that, oh, my cholesterol level is 10. You can see that, oh, my liver was better. My heart is working better. No one sees that, but there is progress. And you are patient with yourself. By the time we comment, you've been on the diet for a year or so, you've been on the diet for 6 months, then there's nothing that change in the book. But the fact that people don't comment about your progress doesn't mean there's no progress. Be patient with it. And don't measure your progress with what people say. People have a tendency of picking up wrong things that they say to people have an attitude of easily having a red hair. So therefore, be patient with yourself. You must know that the certain thing that you must slowly work towards up until you are fulfilled. It's easy to get questions. It's easy to push your car. But in most cases, it's those things that we took shortcuts that come back now in later on. It's easy to get past things. You don't even need even a better recipe. You just boil oil and put things the day like you are fire to do the next thing, right? For you to correct that cholesterol will take longer because healthy is not as we usually. It's a journey that you can go through slow. So that's a be patient with yourself. Yeah, yeah. And triage you get triage everywhere. There's triage everywhere. Whether you are in coverage or especially somebody did a triage and send the patient. Whether you are wherever, somebody sees that patient and send them you or you are the person to triage the patient. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Dealing with issues. You've already removed things that are barriers that will delay you because we're talking about being patient.
Yes.
Right? So let's treat ourselves as patients who go through that triaging, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Because with the mind, if you can see it, whatever that you can see in your mind, you will be able to hold it in your hand.
Yes.
The picture starts in the mind.
Yes.
Right? And then you are able to hold it. So we need to really cultivate patience, go through the steps of checking all the things that could go wrong, all the things that do not belong, and remove them. so that how fika go doctor, and now you are dealing with the exact thing
Yes.
that is the issue, and then you get treatment for that. Otherwise, then if you don't go through triaging, we now look at everything as a possibility. We are not able to eliminate. So let's go through a process of eliminating as we wait patiently.
Thank you so much. Another point that I want to come into for this, let me tell the listeners, if you are joining us online and you have certain points that you use that works for you to cultivate a proper mindset, you can share them. We'll be able to read them. It's as much as it's a high class. There's certain things that work better for you. There's certain attitude that you've developed over the years, and this attitude works better for you. So therefore, you can also share with us. Somebody might be empowered, somebody might be educated, somebody might progress because of the way you look at things and how you view things, and that's very important for us to be able to allow you to also share. So I want us to go to be open to changes. So let me tell you, life is dynamic, and be open to changes. We are creatures of habits, and it's difficult to break the habits we have. So therefore, you must be a creature that is able to open to changes, because let's accept changes are not comfortable. Changes are frustrating. Changes, they tip us off the balance of a cruise control. When you're on the highway, you are putting a cruise control, you take off your foot off the pedals, and you are just holding the steering wheel, and then something happens, you go to the pedals, and then you start changing things, and that is not comfortable. The way you do it, you are not doing it smoothly. You are doing it haphazardly in most cases. So therefore, because it's difficult to change, but change, it's always inevitable. Change is in the background, whether you like it or not. Change is in the background. It is not only inevitable, but it's also necessary for growth. Think about it. If all you do all the time is to do the same thing, and then you come back, you fall asleep, you do the same thing and you come back and you fall asleep, you do the same thing again and again, it's okay, you are moving forward, but you are not progressing. I don't know if life is moving forward. Obviously, if let's say, for example, you were owing 10 rand, and after 10 months you're paying each rent. If you don't grow, you will be able to still pay that, but you are not progressing into affording another thing on top of the 10 rand you're paying. So you are going forward, but you are not progressing, you are not growing, because discomfort brings growth. As much as we don't like discomfort, growth. And comfort zone is a no growth zone. So when you are at the comfort zone, you must know that you are where nothing grows. Right? So be able to adapt to change, because growth is from every challenge you encounter. So therefore, when you want to grow, you must have certain challenges. So you must be open to being adaptive to certain things. I know it's easy, it's easy to do things the same way again and again. It's done the same way, but you are actually not growing. So you must be able to be open to change. Change is very important. Change is inevitable. But if you don't challenge yourself to a change, you will never tap into a element where whatever comes your way, you'll be able to deal with it. If you're afraid of change, that means you are afraid of growth. And the people that don't grow are the ones that are still resisting to change. Think about it. In the olden days, we used to use fax. Who still uses fax? People don't use fax machines no more. There's few companies that use fax for certain purposes, but it's outdated. No one says I bought a fax machine now. People take out their phone and they take whatever document, they convert it to PDF, they email it. No need for a fax. But if you then want to be in that area where you say, Mina, I like the fax is reliable and everything, and then you want to now come with us to where we are going in an innovative, forever changing world, and we are no longer using fax. You won't receive a fax. Think about it.
Yeah.
When last have you actually faxed something? When last have you ever submitted documents and fax this thing for me? It's actually, we scan it, we upload it, we email it, we scan it with our phone. We no longer use the fax. So therefore, if you are not open to change, you are now closing yourself for growth. Change is good. Change is not nice for you when you look at it,
Yeah.
but change is
It's
good.
good.
If you are forever dynamic, it's very good. If you are unpredictable, it's very good.
Mm.
If there's certain things that are mysterious that you cannot put a finger on, that's good. That means you're changing direction, my friend. But if we reach out to you with our closed eyes and we know we'll find you at the same spot, the comfort spot, that is not growth.
Okay. So you kept saying the word open, né?
Yeah.
And I then played around with words.
Yeah.
Right. So I looked at open, and I'm saying O in open will be the opportunity. You need to be able to see opportunity for
Yes.
change, for growth.
Yes.
Right. And P would be principles.
Mhm.
Your principles will align you to your values.
Yes.
And as you make yourself open to change, you need to align to your values. Don't go and change who you are, right?
Yes.
Values ground us, right? Respect, being accountable, credibility, all those values. In fact, those Philippian 4 things.
Yes.
Let's say it says whatever is worthy, praiseworthy, and all those good
Yeah.
things.
Whatever
right?
is good, whatever is thoughtful, whatever
Yes.
is true, whatever is just. Think about
Exactly.
this thing.
Think about those things,
Yeah.
right? So openness means using those principles to
Yes.
say why would this change be important for me, and what value will it add? And then engage. E would be keep engaging with people,
Yes.
engaging with God, engaging with yourself, because sometimes we forget to engage with ourselves,
Yes.
right? And the N would be never giving up attitude. So when you are open, you say, okay, I'll never give up on myself. I'll never give up on believing, on being hopeful, on seeing the other side
Yes.
of the situation. That's what a fertile mind would look at.
Thank you so much. I want to say my last point. Then I'll want to say the same. I think it's the fourth point or fifth point, and then basically you say the points you have for your. And then I will close with one last. But I'll be the last one for this now session is that you need to learn to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to let go by it. It's not simple to learn to let go, but learning to let go, it's necessary.
Yeah.
We cannot change the past. We cannot do anything about the past except we learn from the past and we move. We can't carry our past into the future. We have to carry the lessons of our past to the future. You need to learn to let go. That's very important because not learning to let go is like, imagine you wanting to travel somewhere and all the clothes or all the gadgets you've had, you still left them in the same vehicle that you want to use to go. It's actually, you are alone, but it's overloaded. It's chowing a lot of petrol. It's chowing a lot of resources for you to move forward because you are carrying what I call a dead weight. You are carrying things that they're just pulling you back. Imagine you are running a marathon with a bag that is full of things that you should have put down and run a marathon. So now you fail to complete the marathon, not because you are unable to, but because the weight is pulling you down. So let go. There are many things that let go. There are certain businesses that you tried and you did not win. Take the lessons, let go. There are certain proposals you've made and people never accept them. Let go. There are certain associations you've made and they never work. Let go. There's a marriage you tried and it failed. Let go as you move forward. There's a relationship you tried, it doesn't work. Let go. Because carrying the weight into where you are going is slowing you down. Think about it. There you are carrying things and you're trying to become a better person, but the very same thing that you must have learned from, you are carrying them. You know, there's one of the bishops that I listened to, and I think he said it a few years ago because I've been listening to his podcast, and I also go to his church, Bishop Siketi. He once said that the issue is that you are fighting the previous fight of the previous relationship fight, you're fighting them in the present relationship. It doesn't work. So the previous things that got you fired at your job or your business did not work. You are now you are not learning from them. You are trying to fight to prove the very same thing that made you fail. But you are realizing that it's a baggage. You don't realize what this is a different situation that requires you to employ a different strategy so that you can reach different heights. But you are now here not because you're trying to win this game, but you're trying to prove to the previous employer that you're good enough. They've let go of it, but you don't realize that you're actually carrying the weight. If you leave that and start on a clean slate, but then learn from the mistakes, you actually progress. Learn to let go. It is very important to let go. If we have a rubbish bin, we keep on putting things, we don't empty it. That rubbish bin will create a mess in the house. Let go. Empty things so that you can move forward. And then by you letting go, you will know that there is more for you, that you have more capacity. Also, letting go from this says to me, you are opening a space for new things that can take you to the next level. Because if we look at you and we see that you are busy with things that are not of now, but you are busy. You know that people who are busy with nothing, right?
Yeah.
So you are busy with things that are not even working out for you. We leave you to become busy. But when you create, when you empty and let go, you are creating a space for your new dimension, a space for learning, a space for progressing. So learn to let go.
In fact, I was thinking, let's go, right?
Yeah.
Because as you let go, you are allowing yourself to go.
Yeah, I
you
hear
know.
you.
So as you let go, I'm saying let's go.
Yeah, see,
because then nothing is hindering you. Your past should never ever be how you define yourself. Right? It might have taught you things. You might not have recovered from the trauma and the pain, but you need to come to a point where you say, I'm going. I'm going there. Nobody can stop me. It's that attitude that says, look, you, the past, whatever is happening currently, you're not gonna be the reason why I'm not going forward. So let's go, people. Let's go.
Yeah, let's hear from you. For the seems as you're fired up. There are certain points that I have, but I want to give you
the
point
you
that
can
you want
continue.
to.
I think my last point was on the notes, but as we were going, I was throwing in my notes.
Okay, good. So the last point that I want to leave you with, there's more, and I feel maybe we should also, because this thing of a mindset, it's very important. I think a few months ago I thought about renewing your mind, and let me tell you, the many things that ministers to me a lot before I give them to you. And I try by all means, I'm not perfect, but to practice what I preach, So when I said renew your mind, there's certain things that I'm renewing in my mind as well, to work on, to do certain things. And that's why I'm giving you this. And I feel we should come back with many points, because as I go through certain things, and I read books, and I listen to podcasts, and I look at my life, and I write notes, and so that it can empower me before it empowers you, I've realized that there's many points that I have. Like you can see, I have an order of many notes there, and I still have many, but I want to leave you with this point. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. It's the strongest thing in life. Never stop. Don't allow yourself to stop learning. Don't allow yourself to arrive at the point where you call yourself know-it-all. You'll call yourself a jack of all trades and a master of none if you do that. You must never stop learning. Learning means you are growing. Learning means you are nurturing yourself to the next height. Learning means that this is a lifelong lesson. It's not something that you learn for a certain time of your life and then you move. There was this this gynecologist, Dr. Baloi from Limpopo, who sold his practice, and people for the community actually didn't sell it, gave it to a community to make a library when he came back to school. And when I was doing my undergrad, he was doing his registrarship, training to become a gynecologist, and I think he was the head. I know he was the head of Free State Gynecology. I think he retired now. He's one of the health people in government in Limpopo. What he once said, he said, when we're undergrad, I'm going to teach you guys gynecology as you are rotating in gynae for this time that you're here so that you are competent. But let me tell you, as a black person, and he said that, but I'm saying as anybody else, you will never conquer the world with nothing in your head. Learning is a lifelong thing. Learning comes in many ways. You can learn new hobbies. Don't stay the same. And it talks to the change. Don't stay the same. Learn. It can be that you listen to podcasts. It can be that you enroll on a course. You advance yourself. If you stay in one area, you will never be able to learn. Now we are learning that we no longer have to carry books everywhere when we want to show people that we're studying. We can actually carry your smartphone and go anywhere and still be able to learn and enroll on a course and do everything on that smartphone. Long time ago, when we're learning, we're carrying books. So learning becomes now easier. Learning can be you going to a cooking class, learning a new recipe, but never stop learning. Set learning objectives for yourself to say, I want to learn certain things. The more you go through life and learning things and open to learning, the more you will realize how much you don't know. So this was a light bulb moment for most of us. For example, when we left, when we became doctors, when I went to school, I think last when you interviewed me, I told you that I wanted to become a doctor because that's what I dreamed of. But I also wanted to be a mechanic of human beings. But I didn't know that there's a course that you can specialize in to become a mechanic of human beings. Sorry if the words I'm using you don't like, but it's easier for you to understand. And then, but when I went back now to start to become a specialist surgeon, I realized how much of operating a person I did not know. When I went to study further, I realized, oh, I actually knew this thing at the surface. Now I know them deeper. So what I'm trying to bring the point is that when you open to learning, you start realizing how much you don't know, and then how you also treat people. Say something, you change. Example, I've seen the attitude of, I'm sorry if he's my consent, but if you go to a hospital as an institution, you can easily, the people that did not learn far, they're easy to tell. They're easy to tell you about the rights, even where it doesn't count for anything. For example, the porter at the hospital, which is what I saw even when I was working in government. The porter can tell you, doctor, it's my lunch. I'm taking lunch. If there's no another porter, I'll come in 30 minutes and bring your patient. You end up as a surgeon pushing the patient because you understand that it's not about your level. It's not about your rights of having lunch. It's about what is in front of you. So I've realized that the more you realize you don't know, when you learn, you treat people properly. You don't expect them to be like you. So you have grace. You know, when you realize, listen, I did not know this. So when somebody makes a mistake, so you are most likely to become lenient when somebody doesn't know than to become hard on them. So people who become hard on people who don't know is because they themselves don't know much. They become hard. But people who become soft would understand. And most people will tell you, a new specialist in an exam is dangerous than an old professor in an exam. Because the old professor in an exam will persuade you towards an answer. But a new qualified specialist is rife. You might easily fail because he expects you to quote the latest literature because he's been studying, he's been on top of the game. Imagine somebody who has been a number one and who has just came out of the game. When they look at you, they see you being slow. But a professor who knows that it takes time to learn, they become lenient in you. So when you stop learning, you become hard on people. But when you open yourself to learning, you give people grace if they don't know. You actually like teaching them. When the more you know, the more you impart knowledge. But the lesser you know, the more you want to prove how much you know. So therefore, never stop learning. When you learn, you then become the light for other people. Don't leave yourself to know that people who goes year in, year out, they cannot take what they know, for a week, what is it that I've learned? Nothing. They just walk through this life with the what we call a pilot mode. So never stop learning. Learning is lifelong. Learning is necessary. Learning makes you to become the people who are no longer the word that I want to read from my vocab. You no longer I don't want to say useful, but when you don't learn and stagnant, you no longer the in thing. You no longer a reasonable choice. You no longer of
Relevant.
yeah, that's the word I wanted. I knew you'll come with it. You're no longer relevant. So when you learn, you become relevant. For this, I think
Okay. Let's
we must close.
So learning becomes the fuel that we all need
Yeah.
to face impossible situations.
Yeah.
Because when you learn,
Yes.
you now know the other way
Yes.
of doing. That's
Yes.
what learning is.
Yes.
There's no one track thing.
Yeah.
Life is not a single issue life.
Yeah.
You can connect the dots.
Yeah.
And that's why learning is important, because learning helps you see the many other dots that you might have thought were not connected.
Yes.
But when you start connecting them, you get a clearer
Picture. Yes. For this.
picture.
Yeah, I know, Uti, we said we are finishing this. I would have there's just one point. Let me just use this opportunity to teach. You must stay hopeful.
Mhm.
It's very important that you stay hopeful, because hope is a choice. Even though the toughest moments in life, stay hopeful. So even if you meet the toughest moment in life, hope is the fuel that makes you go on, even when it looks like you are not winning. But if you lose hope, you will lose everything. If you lose hope, you might not want to wake up because you've lost hope in whatever. But stay hopeful. Whatever happens, you must refuse to donate your hope. Because it's many things that don't work out because we knew the know-how. It's because we stayed hopeful. There are many things that work out because instead of giving up, we stayed hopeful. And then when we stay hopeful, we never left pedaling on. Hope means even though people don't believe in you, I always have this story to say that the people who made it in life, if you ask them who had a hope in you and who lost the hope in you, some of the people will tell you, even my parents lost hope in me. Even the community lost hope in me. Even my family said, this is a hopeful situation. But I stayed hopeful because hope fuels you. If you don't have hope, you won't go anywhere, because hope is what fuels you. It puts whatever you want to see in front of you, even though it's not there. That's hope for you. But if you lose hope, then it's like, I always say this in the hospital. When the patient is critically ill, there's a marker for me that I look and say this patient has no survivor. If the doctor of the patient loses hope, the patient will die definitely, because the person who has to have hope in your life has lost hope. But if the doctor still has a hope, there still has a chance. So there's two things. If the doctor has a hope in you that you will win, you have a chance. I'm not removing God. I'm just talking as a health professional. That you understand that if somebody is short, if the doctor says this patient will not survive even if I operate them, 100% the patient will die.
Yeah.
But if the doctor says, no, I'm willing, even there's the smallest of chances, while the doctor goes and prays first and everything, which is what I do, by the way. But this is not a belief class. It's a class of hope. So if you lose hope, whatever that was supposed to come there will not be able to arrive because you've lost hope. If you lost hope, let's say you plant a seed and you lost hope, then the seed, because I don't know better words than English. It always because I don't know, like I
Just say you paid there.
yeah, use the fork to invert the soil, because you lost hope in the seed. But if you still hopeful, you tell people, no, water it. I know you don't see it, but water the seed. So don't lose hope. Whatever happens, you are stronger than you think. Don't lose hope. You are powerful than you think. Challenge yourself. Set goals, reasonable goals to yourself, and then attain them. If it's easy to attain the goals, you didn't set the goals for your potential. If it brings discomfort, you have set the right goals for yourself. So therefore, challenge yourself, but do not lose hope. All this must come down to the core of be hopeful in yourself. Let me tell you, nothing stays the same. Even whatever situation you're going through is going to change. But if it changes and you have lost hope, both you and the situation have lost. But if you still have hope, the situation changes, you can still win. It's never too late. It's never too late to change your mindset. The change is today. The change is to start now, and with the hope of a good result. You will reflect on your hope. People who have high hopes, the people who walk tall even though there's nothing in their pocket. But people with little hope, they check their pocket before they start working in confidence. Sometimes confidence must meet your goal, because sometimes you're not getting where you are going because you lack confidence. We look at you and say, if he doesn't have confidence in himself, it's like they're asking an interview, what do you think you are a good candidate? And you don't have hope in yourself. If you don't bring the A game of being confident in yourself, why do you think we'll have confidence in you? We don't know you.
Yeah. Let's pray. Father,
I know you.
Thank you. We honor you. We celebrate this moment that you give us. We appreciate the enlightenment that we receive. Mighty God, may every family that is represented here be a family of winners, be a family of people who don't lose hope, people who see the light even in the darkness, people who remain focused on things that align to your will and purpose for our lives. We thank you. We glorify you, mighty God, as we are about to sleep. Robala le rona Modimo o re boloke. Le ha re ntse re tlo tsoga mo mesong to go to different workplaces and schools. Tsamaya le rona ntate o re etelle pele. Lebitso nne le matla la morwa hao Kriste Jesu, re a o rapela, re a o leboga. Amen.
Thank you so much. This is Grace and Mercy. I am Pastor Kana. I am Dr. Kekana. Until we meet again, this is Enlightenment Corner on Soma HD Radio. We are back next week. Same time, same place. We'll see you on Sunday on In His Grace and Mercy service from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. on Soma HD Radio. We are live on Soma HD Radio. It is www.somahdradios.co.za. You also find us live on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. The handle is In His Grace and Mercy. Till we meet again.
I never do this part. Can I do it today?
You never do it, fine.
So on Saturday, the president is giving a speech.
Okay, good.
On Women's Day, right?
Yes.
And I'll be one of the people who reflect on that speech. So if you are able to join Newsroom Africa, just join and listen to how we reflect on what our president is saying about us as women, especially women who are on this platform.
Oh, thank you so much. That nakoge pasho ini iplaka tikatangela besesambe.
Radio show on planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.